actually in the screen?
Yep, you're right in the bullseye middle. And it's recording. I don't like.
Why?
Because you're not smiling or anything.
Well, I'm not ready to shoot yet. Hi there again, FG fans. So I have on top of the truck, mounted in the rear, a magnet mount yellow and white LED strobing traffic control unit, like you see on utility trucks and such sometimes. So I decided to add 4 to the grille of the front of the truck here because the magnet mount one up on top is basically invisible from the front of the truck because of the length of the cab and the height of the truck's cab itself, based on the angle that you would get from being in a standard height automobile. So most people cannot see it from the front. If you're in a truck about the same height or a semi or something like that, it would be more obvious, but for anyone in a car, it's pretty much invisible. So I went ahead and added these. Just a project that I bounced around in my head for a little while. It doesn't really serve any actual super important purpose, but thought it'd be neat to have. You know, you stopped at night and you might be helping someone out or whatever. Just a little extra safety value for other traffic coming by, that they'll be aware that there's a vehicle that's stopped. So anyway, without further ado, I shall continue. All right, so as mentioned, here is a view of the new lamp assemblies. And let me zoom back here a bit. Alright, and obviously this is on the assembly table here, and actually in my living room. And I'm going to go ahead and put this back in the truck, and as often happens, it didn't turn out exactly as I was expecting. If I zoom in here a little bit, you'll see that I tried to put some extra weatherproofing glue to seal the area where the wiring comes in through the back of the lamp, and the glue got a little aggressive, and it was a little thinner than I had anticipated, and it ran down, unfortunately, and kind of got a little crazy here around where it was supposed to stay and didn't stay. You see some in there. Let me give you a minute here and go ahead and flip this. Right, so here's the rear. You can see the wiring harness that I've got draped out. Now this all has pre-finished connectors that plug into the control module. This actually has a box with a wireless controller, which lets you turn it on and off and set flash patterns, things like that. And so all the wiring is pre-terminated, and every one of these has a connector on the back. So I'm left with this fairly long piece of cabling here. I believe it said they were 11 feet long each, so I'm going to have to coil that up somewhere. I suppose I could probably just cut them off and splice all the wiring back together, which I might possibly do in the spring, being that it's only in the mid-30s here right now. Not feeling real froggy on doing a whole bunch of project work as far as tidying up. That could always come by later. Just going to get this up and running, and we'll head in from there. See you in a moment. I'll be out at the truck, and I'm going to go ahead and get this installed, and I'll show you how all of that's progressing. So in a minute or two, catch you then. Alright, so here's a view of the strobe controller itself. I just went ahead and took and wire tied it onto the plumbing coming out of the ABS modulator for now. The mounting bracket that they provided, well, the mounting cast, I guess you should say, it's all plastic. It's part of the strobe housing. There's a tab that sticks up that does have 2 holes in it that could be used for screws. However, unfortunately, they put the tab at, I guess, what they consider the top, if you consider which way the label's facing. So that would put the connectors facing straight up, which means water would fall right in. I wasn't thrilled with that idea, so I went ahead. So far, I'm going to mount it upside down. I'll see how that goes. In the spring, I might move this under the dash, perhaps, just to get it out of the weather. I think it's going to be pretty dry here. It's behind the air box. You can see the air box right here. So I don't really think that it's going to get splashed. It should be in a pretty good location. We'll have to see from there what I decide to do. But anyway, and so I went ahead and all the connectors. Let me see if I can get a view of this. Here you go. Yeah, I used this Pro4x dielectric tune-up grease, which is very good stuff. It is specifically made for keeping water out of electrical connectors. So if you're adding, the trailer connector that I put in the rear bumper in another project, I went ahead and filled all the pockets again with this stuff. It's very good. It does not dry out. It stays liquid pretty much forever. And as I mentioned, it is a excellent water repellent. Will keep any connectors from corroding, water splash, anything of that nature, and anything that just needs to be protected this electrical. So I would recommend to use that on all projects if you have anything that's going to be out in the open. So that's pretty much it. I'm going to jump from here over and show you what the strobes actually look like mounted and actually operating. And from there, we're going to call it a day. Catch you in a minute. All right, everyone, and here's the install is complete now. So basically, here it is. We got 4 units mounted up here on the grill, and they do have a variable flash pattern, but since I'm actually holding the phone while videoing this, it's going to be difficult for me to do both, but there are other flash patterns. I'm going to go ahead and put a link in here in the description, the written description, in case anyone is interested in purchasing these for yourself. They're really not a bad deal. They were only $32, came with the control module, and come with buku wire. As I'd mentioned, the wire from these little units here is about 11 feet long, so they could be mounted anywhere, front of a truck, rear, anything, sides, whatever works. And whatever your mounting requirements should be pretty simple. So I'm going to go ahead and just wrap this up then. Thank you for tuning in, and until next time, Frontier Geek out.